Everybody, welcome to the Here We Go Brownies podcast. I'm here with my coworker and a great friend of the program, Nick Wilson. Afternoons on 92.3 The Fan. Nick, welcome to the podcast.
Dustin, it is great to be here. You and I have been talking about this for a couple of years now, so it's kismet. We're finally here, and we're sitting here at this beautiful card show.
We manifested.
Is it manifest if you just made it happen? I feel like, did we have to
true.
think about it for 2 years? We could have probably just done it at some point.
That's true.
We're just waiting for the right opportunity.
Right. So, we got 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft.
Yep.
I think the Browns are one of those teams that are a little bit of a mystery. They're putting some smoke out there, and, they're bringing in guys like, well, why would you draft that guy? Why are you bringing him in for a top 30 visit? I love watching you and Jonathan in the afternoon kind of poke at each other to get going. I'm just going to put it out here. I would not be shocked if the Cleveland Browns take Jeremiah Love at 6, and the reason I'm going to second that is we don't usually mess up the running back position, and it's one thing with this guy that I think they could hit on.
All right, so this is a tough one because, one, I do have to point out to the audience that you were Ashton Genty at 2 last year.
And that's why I'm saying
So at some point, we just have to wonder if you're going to say they need to draft a running back every year in the first round until they actually do it. Listen, I get the Jeremiah Love argument, which is he is of a different level of Quinshon Judkins. He is a blue chipper. He's a guy that could be here for 8 years, be another Nick Chubb, right?
Bingo.
I do understand that. I just think with where you are, it's tough because I think he's one of 3 guys who are true blue chippers in this draft, but yet I'm anti-drafting top 10 running backs unless the rest of your team is complete. And like that, everybody says, the quarterback's the last piece. You can't time that up in the NFL. Right. You can time up a first-round running back, a top 15 running back, and I think that's I love the player. I don't love the fit. I would rather, if we're going blue chippers, if David Bailey falls, I'd rather David Bailey at 6, right?
I could see that.
I don't think Carnell is a true blue chipper. I'd rather a T. Higgins-esque wide receiver right now with where the offense is and where I think you need to be than, let's say, a Saquon Barkley-esque running back.
Yeah, and where I kind of lean to this, because I was a Ashton Genty all-in at pick number 4.
I believe I remember that, yes.
And that's a homer pick, I'll even say. But I think he does have a great future in the NFL. But what really started to get me thinking in the direction that the Browns shouldn't reach and maybe take the best available, and where I go with this, what I heard coming out of the Combine was Jeremiah Love is everything Ashton Genty was and then some, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. He was even better because of what he can do at the wideout position. He's a multi-talented back. And then I settled in and said, the Browns were the best when they would beat people down with Nick Chubbs and Kareem Hunt in their prime, and that's when football was really hard to play against.
See, I want the Baltimore system where Baltimore has always had, since the days of Jamal Lewis, our Nick Chubb, as it were, Baltimore's had 2 or 3 running backs at any time. Even right now with Justice Hill, and I think they just released Keaton Mitchell, but Keaton Mitchell and Derrick Henry, I love the contemporary setup, which is your main guy's going to get 60 to 65% of your carries. The next guy's going to get 25% of your carries, and you still have space for a third running back.
Right.
I think that's where we're going with this. Right. So Jeremiah Love to get in the 65 and then bumping Quinshon to 20, it just feels like a luxury. And the Browns don't have a lot of luxuries. I understand what you're saying here, but between Dylan Sampson, between Quinshon Judkins, I love the player. I want to say that I love the player, but I think Carnell's clearly in play at 6. I think the offensive line is clearly in play at 6, although it might not be Monroe Freeling. That still feels like a reach. And I still think BPA, Bailey, Downs, Arvell Reese maybe. Mm-hmm. I think that's – and here's the other thing. And again, this is where you're right. The Browns have done such a great job at disguising what they're going to do. They've made the 6th pick interesting. And I still think there's a heavy chance that if the right offer comes in, that a trade down could be the right piece for them.
Yeah, get somebody to reach that really wants Jeremiah Love, a Minnesota Viking, a team like that. The Commanders okay, we're going to ring, let's call the Cleveland Browns. And then the Browns are like, this is exactly why we did this, because we wanted to see if we could just move a little bit, gain some, Andrew Berry, grab some draft capital in the process. Now, here's the other thing. If you're stuck there, we'll say
Which is so funny. If you're stuck with the sixth pick of the NFL draft.
But like for me, like Fano, I like because he's he can play any place on the line. I like that guy out of Utah. I think that would be a solid pick at 6. But my question is, if you're at 6, you're not making the trade. Tell me who Nick, the GM, would take at that pick.
I would take David Bailey or Caleb Downs.
Okay.
Actually, if I'm going wide receiver, I like Carnell a lot. I'd take a risk on Jordan Tyson. I think Jordan Tyson is the most talented wide receiver in this draft. I understand the massive injury concerns. It's not just one issue, the hamstring this year. It's also the ACL and MCL. I think it was his first year in college. I get it. I don't care. I think if you're drafting that high, you're looking, can this guy be a number 1 wide receiver? Can this guy be? Jordan Tyson is the one guy I'm most sure of at the wide receiver spot can be a blue chipper. And, there's a lot of whispers about, is he going to have a fall? I think he might.
Right.
But what kills me about the injury thing is, it's a valid concern. But injury, we treat character concerns with less of a red dot than injury concerns.
Fair.
And I'm like, I don't understand the logic from the draft community that we get this year that it's like, well, Jordan Tyson isn't a risk at 13 with the Rams, but he is a risk at 6. It's like there's 7 picks. If you said he's a second round, like Chris Bell is a first round talent out of Louisville, coming off the injury, people have pushed him to the 39 range for the Browns. Another guy, by the way, I'm obsessed with.
Right.
Specifically for the Browns. That makes sense to me. Maybe he'd be the 20th pick, the 15th pick if he was healthy and was able to show that last year at Louisville and maybe played in a full route tree.
Right.
But because of the injury, because of all the other stuff, he's picked 39. 20 spots, 30 spots make sense.
Right.
7 spots?
Well,
I feel like we're almost being gypped a little bit on Jordan Tyson.
Right. And here's where I think the Browns, in an ideal, if I had to pick, to me, if I'm the Browns and I'm the GM and Dustin's the GM, I take the best player available and I don't reach on a tackle or something like that. I take who's going to be the best player over the next several years that's going to make a difference on this young roster. And
I do think, real quick, because I agree with you, but I can modify it. It is the best player available at a position that needs upgraded. So, I don't think running back is a position that needs upgraded. Now, I don't think edge rusher needs upgraded either, but Myles Garrett is 30, and there's all those whispers and innuendos out there. You can never have
Reese.
Reese or certainly Bailey. I think Bailey, and even Bain, I know he's not. I think Bain actually fits the old system with Schwartz, but Caleb Downs. That is a best player available that fits a position that needs upgrading because he'd instantly be the best safety you had.
Yep.
Since T.J. Ward or
1,000%.
Gibson maybe.
Yeah.
So mostly there are guys even, by the way, even Tefano or Maui Noah. Yeah, I don't normally draft guards at 6. This isn't normal.
No.
This is a bit of, and I would rather draft a guard that might end up being an
all
all-pro.
We don't know about Joel.
Yeah,
That's a whole mystery thing
but we don't know about Tevin Jenkins either. The guy. I mean, I know he played well in the brief spurts he's played this year. He's never been healthy.
Right.
So I think there's a lot they can do at 6, which is good.
Yeah.
And I think that the Monroe Freeland getting pushed up to 6 scares me. Right. Those are the things.
You're reaching, you feel at that point, right?
And even I think Mekhi Lemon's going to be a nice football player. A slot receiver at 6 feels a little heavy because and a lot of that, by the way, is because I haven't seen Monken's offense in Cleveland yet.
Right. You haven't.
Maybe I'd feel different in a year because I don't know how prominent the slot's going to be. Or if Lemon can kick out to the X, now all of a sudden Lemon's a different prospect, right? But if he's just a slot, he better be Puka. Right?
Yeah.
Now, in fairness, they said JSN was just going to be a slot. He played more on the outside last year by it was a 7-to-1 ratio. So all of a sudden JSN went 20 because he was only a slot, and here he's one of the best outside wide receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, I think in the most ideal world, if you can trade down to Dallas and get a little bit of value because you're still in the teens.
I think that makes sense because David Bailey's there.
You're right.
I would like to know. It all depends on what's the give. I don't want people the pick swap. All right, we'll give them 6 and 39, and they'll give us 12 and 20, which would give us 12, 20, and 24. This isn't that draft for me. This isn't. I think you already have enough draft currency this year. If you're moving from 6 to 12, I'd like either Green Bay's first next year or Dallas's second next year. Because I think you need to because your quarterback spot is not solved until it is solved.
Right.
You need more assets in the next year, which I think has kind of been behind between the contract thing and Miles' age, behind some of the different, like, connecting the dots of Miles' future in Cleveland.
And Allie and I talk about this all the time. You can't collect enough offensive linemen, and you can't collect enough cornerbacks in the National Football League because those guys are always going to be needed. Also, defensive linemen. Those guys, because if you don't win the game in the trenches, it's done. So you have to.
Listen, I'm a little reductive on this. I think the only three true needs in the NFL, everything else to some degree is a luxury, although corner's pushing up on this because of the way the rules have changed. I need you to have a good or better offensive line, and I need you to have a good or better defensive line, and then give me the best quarterback you can find.
Bingo.
I can deal elite wide receiver with a bad running back. Like I can mix and match every other thing on the team. And the failure of last year was two of the most important spots. You had somebody who wasn't ready yet, or somebody in like Flacco. They just neutered Flacco, as we saw when he went down to Cincinnati and started throwing for 400 freaking yards a game.
Right.
But to me, the biggest failure last year wasn't just the quarterback room. It was that offensive line.
Right.
Andrew Berry waited too long.
They couldn't stay together.
To refresh that offensive line. And because of that, because the tackle play was bad, and then, of course, you had injuries up front, and then Posick with his ACL or his Achilles.
Yep.
Like, if you had just had a good offensive line last year, a healthy, productive for 17 games, because continuity is huge there, I think you would have had a functional offense.
Oh, for sure.
And so when people talk about the Browns this year, there's a lot of negativity of, oh, they're so bad, they're so this. And it's not that people are wrong. It's that it doesn't take a lot to get to a functional offense in the NFL.
Right.
It really doesn't. And it starts up front, which is why this draft and this free agency has been so crucial.
Well, think about this. When you look at last year, the Titans game and the Jets games should have been automatic wins for the Cleveland Browns based on just sheer talent. That was one of the toughest schedules last year. That gets you to 7 wins right there with one of the toughest schedules and the worst offense. So
and now you're flipping to an easy schedule.
The easiest.
Yep.
The easiest in the NFL. I may have not lost the burger bet this year,
Oh, by the way, where's that burger?
Well, I got to.
So I got to tell you, so we did a burger bet last year. In fairness, I baited him into it.
It was a bad bait. Bad bait.
No, it was a great bait because he took it.
Got me in a weak moment.
Yeah. It must have, my buddy Ken in the mornings always talks to a Browns quarterback and somehow adds 2 win totals to the projection. What I will tell you is Dustin's turned this into us going out for a burger. Now listen, I'd eat a burger with you out at a burger, but that's not the point. The full shame of the burger bet is I'm sitting in a conference room, you deliver me my succulent burger, and that I sit there and eat it while you sit in silence and shame. You can't do that at a burger bar.
No, you can't.
You can't. That would just be weird. A fat man eating a succulent burger while you sit there quietly. This is not to play on your name. This is a bit of a cuck chair situation here. All right? Like this is you sit there and watch me defile this gorgeous piece of meat in front of me, and there's no eye contact because that'd make it weird real quick. But this is that's the part of the burger bet that nobody gets is the shame of the burger bet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here we're going to do a burger bet this year. We'll think about it.
No, you got to give me the new burger bet.
Moment. I'll give you the.
Are we doubling down because you just haven't paid off yet?
No. I'll give you the shame moment. We'll take care of the shame moment. But let's do a new one this year, so maybe I can redeem for this year.
I don't blindly commit to burger bets. All right, you understand, I am undefeated in Cleveland with burger bets.
You are.
I've beaten Daryl twice. I've beaten Peterlin twice. I've beaten you. There's like 2 or 3 other people. And it clearly, if you can't see right here because this is hidden, this is why the helmets are here, to block out some of my fatness, but not all of it. If you don't know why that I clearly am still morbidly obese, it is my just absolute
love for burgers.
Like Bill Belichick, Tom Brady run of burger bets. So I don't opt in blindly to burger bets.
Well, no, I'm not saying I'm going to tell you but I would like to at least try to redeem myself with a new burger bet.
You got to earn it. Okay. Like there's got to be, it's the right time, right place, right? It's very much, I don't even know. I haven't dated in 20 years. I was going to say, it's a lot like finding a lover. I know. I've been with the same woman for 20 years and disappointing her for 20 years.
You've got a lot of, Your reputation's on the line. You said you're undefeated at Burger Bet. So
Yeah, darn right it is.
That's a whole nother
So
thing.
you better make it worth it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, like maybe this time.
All right, how about this?
I got.
How about a map room burger?
Why would you say that? Like it was like, I'm going to give you $1 million.
Well, a map room burger versus a burger somewhere else is a whole.
Oh, so you're just going to get me like a White Castle burger? Is that what you're going to give me on
the?
Well, I mean, for this last one, I didn't realize you were going to give me like a raw patty and show up.
I said the wrong room, the marble room.
Marble, okay. I was like, map room.
No. A marble room burger is a whole other level.
I'll think about it. No, it's not about it's not just about the burger. It's about the stakes of the bet.
Okay.
And I'm like Nostradamus with these, okay? I got a couple quatrains. I don't know where they come from in the ether, but I feel them coming down. I channel the football gods, the knowledge, as it were.
All right,
and
so
that's when I know when I make a burger bet.
This isn't a burger bet. Where do you have the Browns this year record-wise?
I actually think
pre-draft. We'll call that pre-draft. That's fine.
That's by the way, that's a great question because this could change if they just go out there and are like, we're going to overdraft Monroe Freeling and Casey Concepcion who can't catch a freaking cold at 24. I really think they're going to be better than people realize.
I'm in your boat this year. You weren't in that boat last year. I was in that boat.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I think 7 and 10, 8 and 9, like that's where my head is right now, and I think I'm being safe. Like, I think Monken is not going to try and lose, guys.
9 and 8.
All right,
I'm at 9 and 8.
I can't. He's going to be 13 and 4
9 and 8
by preseason week number 2.
You know why I'm at 9 and 8?
Why?
In the last 30 years, 25 to 30 years, 60% of the teams
that
have the easiest schedule make the playoffs in the National Football League. We have the easiest schedule.
Well, okay,
and we're going to be better than last year.
I can sell it better than that. Because I hate when people say easy schedule. Plenty of bad teams have easy schedules and end up with top 10 picks.
Right.
I like Monken a lot.
Yeah.
Monken is Bruce Arians. Yep. This is a guy who's waited 30 years for his shot to be a head coach. He's not going to tank.
No.
You're going to have to tank around him, which is really hard. I'm not sure about Rutenberg. That is a little bit of doubt here. But I think that defense has a lot of talent.
Right.
Don't love what they did with the linebacker room. Diabate, I'm going to go off on a tangent. But my point is, I think the defense is going to bounce back, and it's not hard to be a functional offense.
Yeah, that's fair.
That defense, even if you give it a full step back, it's maybe the 12th best defense. If this offense is functional, you are a 500 team. Oh, and by the way, you've got a special teams unit with actual special teams players this year. Like we're going to have a kick returner that has returned kicks.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got gunners. We've got guys to do the job. Yeah. I really like. I think you should be cynical and pissed at the Browns for the fallout of the Deshaun deal, for kind of how they've treated the quarterback room this offseason, for just some of the arrogance that I perceive from Berea.
Right.
Sometimes, like, why are you asking that? And it's like, because you're an 8-win team in 2 years, and you took us from a championship window to
what is
the abyss of suck.
Right.
But like another good draft. It's not that hard.
You nailed 2 good drafts, and
to
you're
be
off to the races.
Right there in the NFL. A competent, healthy offensive line. And I think it is going to be Shador, because I really don't want to face the idea of another Deshaun year. And listen, I like Shador, the playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know they're going to have to reel him in a little bit, and I know people are sick of the social media stuff. I don't give a rat's ass. I want good quarterback play. And listen, I can't teach a kid. Now, a kid can't be taught push the ball down the field. Like, Dylan Gabriel's not a bad kid. And honestly, I think he is a backup. I think he is a version of Colt McCoy from the left side and somehow shorter. But Dylan Gabriel, when pushed, was like, oh, I'm going to throw the ball to the sticks. I'm going to throw the ball to the line of scrimmage.
Right.
You can't be taught to speed up the inclination to push the ball down the field. What you can be taught is when you're throwing the ball all over and making plays, okay, don't do that. Right. Hey, this mistake is one you keep making. Cut that out, and you're going to be fine. We all saw
Myles Garrett's eyes get wide open when Shador pushed that ball down the field, and we're like, we haven't seen that since 2023.
Oh, I thought it was when he was flirting with that cop, getting out of that ticket.
Oh. No, but
by the way, I wish I had that damn smile. You see that look on her? Man, hey, I put you down for 90 here, because if we put you down for over 100, and he smiled like, oh, thank you so much. And I was like, man, you imagine, you understand, I got where I got in life, which is farther than I should have, looking like this. Can you imagine? If I didn't look like effing Shrek where I could have gotten in this world.
Well, but to my point, like when I saw that in Vegas, when he stretched the field, I'm like, we haven't seen that since the old Joe Flacco.
And listen, he's not Mahomes. He's not going to chuck or Allen. He's not going
Right.
to chuck the thing 60. You don't need to.
Not in today's NFL. No.
Mahomes does that stuff, and it's great. It's fun to watch, by the way, but it's not necessary. If you can make a 30-yard down the field throw accurately and do it consistently. And it's funny because people have talked about his interceptions in the NFL. It's like, yeah, he didn't know where guys were going to be because he was a mid-round pick that got pushed in a year early. Like but again, I'm a little more bullish on Shedeur than other people, and I'm a little bit more bullish on the Browns. And that's all I got.
They play the NFC South. That's all I need to say. When you play if you're a 9-win team in the NFC South, you can win the division. I wish we played in the NFC South.
Now. The NFC South actually has a chance to be good this year.
Right, but I'm saying most years it's like
it's the all mid quarterbacks. By the way,
yeah, right.
It's Baker, it's Tua, Tyler Shuck. Oh my gosh, Bryce Young. None of them are superstars, but it's just a bunch of guys.
Yeah, and then you look at
good enough to win with, not good enough to win a Super Bowl.
And then you look at like the AFC West and the AFC North. Look at that, it's crazy, right? And then it's like there's the All Stars.
I think the AFC North this year is not going to be great. I still think Cincinnati hasn't done enough with that defense. Baltimore deserves the respect because of what they've done the previous couple years, but they lost a lot and didn't replace it. I think Crosby to Hendrickson. People act like great edge rushers are all the same. Guys, Max Crosby is several tiers above Trey Hendrickson, starting it just in the run game, let alone in what he does. Trey's a nice player. Yeah. And also, by the way, he's also a couple years older. But congrats, you saved 2 picks, you Jags. And then Pittsburgh, it's like, I think Aaron Rodgers is playing. I like Mike McCarthy there, but it's still like that's a spot that's running on fumes.
You know what that looks like? 2 safe picks. Bring Rodgers back. We know what we have, and McCarthy is a safe coach pick. That seemed like just a safe. Like we'll just see what this looks like for a few years.
Yeah, it felt like the antithetical Steelers choice of we're going to look for who's going to be here 10 years from now. Mike McCarthy is going to be buried in a cheese curd in 10 years. He's got 5 years there, tops.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. That was a weird pick for me for McCarthy at head coach.
It makes sense for today. If you still think that roster can compete, it makes sense for today.
But 5 years from now, that's
3 years from now.
Yeah.
Like Watt's getting older. Highsmith has had health issues. Cam Hayward isn't going to be around forever.
Right.
Obviously, Rodgers. I mean, he might end up playing 5 years, stringing us all along. But Rodgers,
he's not Tom Brady. He can't go out there till 45.
Even that offensive line, like the Steelers for 20 years, have not really been able to consistently draft good offensive linemen.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Dotson was the best guy they've drafted in the last 15 years, maybe. That might be a slight hyperbole. But, by the way, when did Kevin get good? When he went to L.A. with the Rams. So that's the best thing. This is the best draft pick I can give you of a mid-round draft pick offensive lineman that has hit. So, Joe Burrow can carry you if you're in a bad division. So let's not sleep on the Bengals. But, I still don't buy that offensive line's great. It's still Joe, T, and Jamar.
Is it wild to you if you look at the AFC North? That was the only head coach that kept his job.
It was the only way to be.
But isn't that wild?
We found out exactly, right? How patient are the Steelers, how patient is Bisciotti, and how cheap Mike Brown is. Also, we are missing out on the one miracle that we've ever had, which is a head coach in Cleveland for more than 6 years.
Yeah,
for more than 3 years.
Yeah, that was a miracle.
Yeah.
So,
but I like Monken.
Nick, appreciate you as always. Tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at Nick Wilson Says, TikTok, Twitter. I don't know what my Facebook handle is. You can find me there, but find me 92.3 The Fan, 2 to 7 every weekday. And make sure to subscribe to this guy because one of the hardest working dudes in the business, always running something, always doing something. Great attitude as well. We're big fans of Dustin over there as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Bye.
Welcome to the following presentation of the Hall of Fame Network.